Okay, Mr. Q Banks, welcome to your
What's up?
show.
What's up? What's going on?
Going good, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just getting the week going.
Mhm.
Had a very, very busy past couple weeks, so flowing, I'm flowing.
For those that are
How
watching
about you?
today, it's Monday, so we're filming this at the start of a fresh week. So when we refer to last week, we're referring to the week of the 1st of September.
Okay.
So I'm fantastic. I'm having a great day, great time. Went to the gym,
Amazing.
peak performance, dopamine up, cortisol down, happy days.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell me, how's your last week of trading been? Obviously, I've caught a few glimpses in your story here and there, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty good. For the most part, again, patience has been on my side. Having areas that I feel comfortable about. I have reasons and just ideas and insight that I'll watch certain moves just play out until it comes to the area that I'm pretty much focused on trying to attack. And yeah, so like that pretty much made me make around 100 and was max around 150,000, but I closed out at 130,000 to settle the on trade. So like that was solid. Even this morning I made around like 38,000. Just again waiting, being patient, finding the reasons and confirmations that I'm looking for and attacking that, and being confident in my analysis to the point that, I'm not really trying to jump around and trying to get in every single move. Um, Even like I'll tell the person like, hey, like if you understand that like, the market is overall bullish, then even if you see a sell-off, don't even try to even be a part of that. Because the market's gonna go back in the main direction anyway. So like why even be a part of something that's short term? It doesn't make sense. Like that's more of a hype and a fear of missing out type of opportunity. So yeah, like things have been very, very smooth. I definitely feel like the sessions really put my mind at ease, balances me out, and all these things. Even like the meditation, um, help as well. Like it makes your mind settle, just at peace. Because my mind is always a little bit, I wouldn't say corrupted, but a little bit chaotic at times.
Corrupted.
And um, I think it's, those time periods where it's just at peace is just very, very important for, just the mental health.
What would you say has been the biggest shift in your state from the way you were trading to where you are now?
Not feeling like, every trade has to be a big trade. Like it can add up. Like this morning, I made a trade for 20,000 here, 5K here, 3K here, 3K here, like that kind of stuff. And obviously it adds up.
Mm,
But you know, trying to chase the high that I'm normally on or I'm normally trying to actually gain is always kind of hard to kind of replicate every single trade. Like I can have a big trade, but trying to replicate that big trade every single time I'm in the markets is extremely hard. So, settling for, 3K here, 3K here, 10K here, whatever, like I feel good because at that point I'm not really so I'm not marrying a position that pretty much could go against me because it might be too short term for me. I'll get out, take like a minor loss if I need to, just to get in on a bigger opportunity, you
mm,
know?
mm-hmm.
And I did something similar to like that this morning. Like I had sales on 30. My position wasn't really like what I liked too much. By the time that I got into a better position when the market pretty much went a little bit against me, I was probably like in it's a standard. So I was maybe like in about let's say $3,000-4,000 in drawdown times two because I had two positions. I took on two new positions at a better price point to close out the other positions. And when I was at like a better price point, I got into I think three positions in total. And when it dropped like crazy, I made like around $66,000. So I took like a minor loss just so I don't have to experience unnecessary drawdown if it did go worse. And I got in on a better spot. And yeah, I cleaned up nice.
Are you finding that you're taking the same amount of trades that you were taking, or have you kind
Um,
of dialed back on how many trades you're taking?
I think I'm taking the same amount, but it's better quality.
Okay.
It's better quality, which means that, they always say, quality over quantity,
Hmm.
but I mean, I think I'm having a lot of quantity and quality at the same time because I'm making sure that like, I'm waiting for these areas to come into the market. Like I'm waiting for these zones to get hit. I'm waiting for these PRZ levels to get hit. Like I'm a technical trader, so I'm waiting for certain areas of the market to actually get tapped to then go on to the next process that I use to actually analyze. So that's been very, very good. Like so despite it being the same amount of trades, the quality of the trades makes it worthwhile. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying, I don't have a measure of over trading. Like you can take as many trades as you want to take, and the key is as long as you are following your trading plan and as long as you are not getting to a place where you are now experiencing decision fatigue, that's okay.
Oh,
Like if you can handle that, then by all continue. Why not? Keep going.
no, no, actually, no, I wouldn't even recommend that because that shit is toxic,
Go on, tell
right?
me, tell me, tell me.
But like even earlier, like decision fatigue, like news was about to hit, well, not news, but market open was about to hit. And I'm like, yo, like I don't feel comfortable within these first positions. Like, no, like I'll take the little loss, knowing that I'm gonna make that back within the better trade. And I'm like, you know what? Close, call it a day, and just brush it off. Like move on to the next. And yeah, like when the trade actually pushed down, like it was a perfect trade. So that right there pretty much was show you real quick. That right there was a very, very drastic trade, but I like the fact that it did actually play out as smooth as I wanted it to actually. It was very, very dramatic actually, but this right here is um the beginning part of the trade actually. There.
Mm-hmm.
It was up like 30,000 there. But see how good the entries were here?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, wait. We're here. The
Yeah.
entries at first were somewhere like down here, which kind of made it very, very uncomfortable. So I closed out of the areas there, got in on better entries up there, and then I pretty much took well, I made all the profit when it actually tanked. So it was just a better opportunity when it came down to it. And I didn't want to actually, exhaust myself from being in a position in an area where I didn't feel comfortable with. So I was like, I'd rather just take the small loss and feel at ease versus being stressed out the entire time.
Would you consider that to be closer to effortless discipline or the same or further away?
Um, Closer, definitely closer because typically, I would find myself just like, yo, I have the margin, fuck it, I'm gonna just whatever. But that's sloppy. That's creating bad habits.
Yeah.
So, as time goes on, like just take the loss, whatever. Like take the small loss for a big win. It's kind of like things in life, like, yo, if you got to be the person to take blame or something, you know what? Take the blame, just thinking about the bigger picture in mind, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So that pretty much was like my overall thought process. So, like, me even thinking that, but then the biggest thing, you could think it, but acting on it is the biggest thing. Like, to press X on a negative trade, it takes a lot out of a person to do that at
Mm-hmm.
times. Because now you're saying, damn, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're putting those kind of like thoughts on yourself or like kind of bash yourself to say that, yo, I was wrong. Or you're not going to close because you don't want to be wrong at all. So you just hold out. And if it goes in profit, see, I was right.
Yeah.
All right. But technically you were been wrong because that wasn't a part of your analysis in the first place. So, 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 so yes, like I would rather just, take something off the charts once I feel uncomfortable and still refocus on that same area just in a better spot.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Because then even if you are wrong, it doesn't hurt as much when you wait for that perfect entry because your risk
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
able to be managed more as well. And you know that
Yeah.
you're actually just following your trade plan. So if it does go against you, if it is wrong, it's like it's okay. It's just actually part of the
Yeah.
market. But it's interesting that you said that. So do you attach your losses to whether you're right or wrong?
Um, the positions, no, but the overall analysis, yes. Because I could have, the right analysis, but just be in the wrong area where I would like to even make that analysis work in my favor.
Hmm.
So yeah, like I mean, it's I try to detach it because I could have my analysis go completely correct, but I only took a portion of that because that's where I was comfortable with that. But as long as my analysis, my overall analysis was pretty much good, I'm like, all right, cool. Like I feel good about it because I did everything right. Did
Hmm.
I execute as I needed to? Probably not. But I was right enough to know that, all right, cool. Like, okay, n next time around, I want to feel a bit more confident with sticking to the analysis, it might, despite it being in consolidation for 6, 7, 8 hours, way longer than I even expected. But just sticking to the bias, knowing that it has a high chance of working out based off of how I do analyze. So, just having that conviction of knowing that you have, all of your ducks in a row and it's gonna play out, just give it time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Do you remember I was saying to you as well last week when you want change? It was either in the last session or the first session. I said
Yeah,
when you want
the
change,
first session.
expect everything that could go wrong to start showing up for you, but you have to handle it
Yep,
differently. And it sounds
yep,
like you're handling it like it's coming up for you and it's not throwing you off. So that's good.
yeah, yeah. That's definitely the biggest thing because it can easily throw you off. Like the market is a crazy place. So
Hmm.
the fact that it could throw a person off like just from one move and all of a sudden, you know, it moved way more aggressive than you expected, and all of a sudden like you don't know how to think. That's when you got to kind of like try to stay as rational as possible because times like that when it's showing moves that you weren't expecting is when you start to think irrationally.
Hmm.
So I think trying to actually keep in a state of mind that you're thinking as rational as possible, as logical as possible, so you can make the right decision. Um, because things like that, wrong decisions get made all the time.
Was there anything that did come up for you last week that you felt like, like this is a bit crazy, or I don't really know how I'm supposed to handle this, for example?
No. I felt like I handled everything as I should. Pretty much like I was trying to mention that when NFP actually hit, I was pretty much longs on 30, which played out perfectly. But before it played out, where my stops were, it pretty much didn't the market never hit an area of that zone yet, or like on my MAs and that kind of stuff, like how I would like to
Mm.
before a move actually plays out. And I'm like, news happens in the next 2 minutes. You know what? Let me modify my stop loss a little bit, just so I'm not in an area where I see has a high chance of getting hit. So I moved stop loss just probably like an extra like maybe 10 points. So I up the risk a little bit, knowing that that area has a high chance of getting hit. So I would rather up the risk than take that unnecessary loss. I modified it a little bit, 10 points. Market it opened, boom, hit the exact point
Oh no.
that the stop loss was at the first time. And then tapped it, pulled back up, shut up. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. I had 2 minutes to do all that. So I think my thought process was solid, but the fact that I was able to act upon it how I needed to, when I needed to, how I needed to, um, it was a nice smooth flow of things.
Yeah, so you didn't end up getting stopped out on that trade because you were able to
No.
actually manage it in time from a
Yeah,
rational
yeah, yeah.
standpoint. That's
Correct,
amazing,
correct,
man.
correct.
Making incredible
Yeah,
progress.
it was solid, it was solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, like I feel like things been going very, very smooth. Again, like I think the biggest thing is, like psychology is like, a huge part of trading. So the fact that, it can't like it's hard to tame, or even just having a person to just like talk to, like vent markets to somebody is very important, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Because only certain amount of people understand
Mm.
the stress that happens.
Mm.
Good stress, bad stress. Like it's just, dealing with markets and fluctuation of money is it's stressful. It takes effort. Like thinking takes effort. Thinking in a certain way takes effort. So having a person to just, speak that to and then they could understand it and comprehend, what you're speaking about because they actually also experience that as well. I think it's just it's refreshing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I can be that for you. It's interesting as well because you're so right. Like thinking does take effort, and trading isn't the only thing that you have to think about. Like you're a businessman, you're a family man, and you've got your hobbies outside of that, things that you want to do for yourself as well, whether that be cars, whether that be taking care of your animals, whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
But like if you're talking to Silver, let's say, so those who are watching, Silver's your daughter. If you were
Hmm.
talking to Silver and she's 18 years old and she's talking to you about her childhood and describing what her experience of you was, what is a quality that you would want her to mention?
Um, I mean, she knows that dependable. She's able to depend on me. Like
Mm-hmm.
one phone call, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I get things done. I tell her like, yeah, like don't bother daddy when he's on the computer too much because he's trying to buy you toys. So that alone like makes her say, all right, daddy's working. You know, daddy, were you on the computer last night, working to buy me toys? I'm like, yeah. So that alone makes her feel like, okay, cool, like let him do his work because I'm getting something out of that. So I think that's the cool part about like daddy gets things done, which is
Yeah,
I feel like is very, very important. Like a very, very important like thought process for a kid.
that is a life hack for all the men watching right now as well. Like, if you have children, tell them you need to work because then you can buy them toys.
It works. It works. It works.
It would work on me. It
See?
would work on me.
Exactly. What the
I'd be
heck?
like, okay, keep working.
Keep on working.
So yeah, no, that's amazing because like obviously legacy is such a huge part as well, I guess, for ambitious people. So it's like
Hmm.
there's a lot of people who can get lost in the working side of things and then detach from what their family needs actually are. I know that you're very much about your family. Like you are there for
Hmm.
them. You do the pickup, you do the drop off. Like you are the first person she sees when you drop when you pick her up from school, the last person she sees when you drop
Hmm.
her off. So
Hmm.
I've seen that from you. So I know that she would see
Hmm.
that and be very proud of that as well. And another part of that
Right.
that I notice is it's a very disciplined way to have to be as an entrepreneur. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm glad that you have that structure and somewhat have that routine as well, because a trader's routine, a typical trader's routine, can be everywhere. Like you can trade at like such a large bracket of time and you're waiting for a trade entry to come about. So your schedule can be I'm going to go gym at 8 p.m. one day, I'm going to go at 7 a.m. the next day. You have quite a steady routine, which
It's a
is
lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
yeah. But again, it feeds into that discipline that you're creating even more discipline on the stock market. But what
Hmm.
I'm really curious about, I already asked you this, but I want to ask it again, is the difference between your state. So when I'm asking about state, I'm kind of like I'm asking a little bit about identity here because there was an identity, a version of you that was showing up on the charts 2 weeks ago that isn't the identity that is showing up right now when you're trading. So
Hmm.
when I'm saying that, it's what state, what qualities are different. And this is important because you're bringing awareness to the new qualities to say that this is my focus, so
Hmm.
this is now my energy.
The biggest thing, like I just been having like a lot of you know, how do you say it? Just like an epiphany, like just like I don't need that. I don't need that either. Like why am I even trying to even like live up to how other people's standards are for when it comes to a person that's making money? You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like for me, like people always say, yo, Q, man, when are you gonna get so and so car? I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want that. Like, why? Like, why should I get that when I don't want it? Yo, Q, like, you should buy a jet. I'm like, I like traveling commercial. I don't want a jet. So it's like people's thought process on like those kind of things is just they could take over how you want to think. And then it comes to a point now, like, yo, like. you got to live for yourself, like how
Mm-hmm.
you see things and that kind of stuff, and just go at your own rate. You know, things that you like to do, do that. You know, like you can't just do things because it'll make others like look at you like, wow, like yo, that was so cool. Like I think it's cool just living like how you want to live on from things that you're interested in, like genuinely,
Mm-hmm.
right? As to why, like even like when I get my cars and everything, I don't get cars to just show up on social media and everything else. Just say that it's expensive and shit. Now, like I actually enjoy, you know, my passion in cars and that kind of stuff by me just being, you know, into it, you know? They don't have to be super expensive. They don't have to be like the most flashiest. They don't have to, you know, like all kind of stuff. So I think just trying to just like really engulf myself and just, you know, like bro, like fuck social media. Like not everything has to be for that,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And once you actually detach yourself from the hype of wanting to just get likes and that kind of stuff, I think you find yourself at a better, happier place and just more of like a balanced place of just, you know, being at your own rate. You see, like how I close out at 30,000 or 38,000, but I could have closed out at 80,000. But I'm like, you know what? I'm about to start the call. I don't want to be too distracted. Let me just focus on that right there. So, you know, I gave up $40,000 just to be on here with you. You know what I'm saying?
And I
Like, I
haven't
think
seen a
that's pretty
penny. I'm joking.
good. You know, but it's like that thought process, like, you know, good. Like a win is a win. You know, like that's how I see it now. Like, and I was telling myself, like, yo, like wins are very, very important. And I need some nice wins in my life because things have been very, very rough this entire year. But you know, just being content with how you see your life going, you know, and not feeling like you have to be living up to another person's way of how they want to live life, you know? So I tell people like all the time now, like, yo, when you get money, you go buy the jet. You go buy that car. That's on you. All right. But don't even push that upon me because that's how you want to live because you can't afford it. When you get that financially you know you're set, then you go ahead and do all those things that you were telling me to do because that's not me.
Yeah, so I think it's really, I honestly, one of the best things you can do for yourself is in life is detach from needing the validation of other people
Mm. Mm-hmm.
because you will quickly find, just like this 150K trade, when you start doing things for you become a magnet, right? Rather than chasing
Mm-hmm.
something, chasing validation, chasing money on the stock market, things are no longer running away from you. Things are no longer so hard to get. What you will end up
Mm-hmm.
finding, like when you let go of all of that and you become someone who's serving because you want to do it. Like it's because you
Mm-hmm.
find it fun, because it's who you are, as opposed to you're
Mm-hmm.
doing it because you want something from someone else. You end up living
Mm-hmm.
a life that feels more free. You end up
Yeah,
living a
definitely.
life where you don't care about the opinions of others. Like it is like
Mm-hmm.
water off a duck's back. You end up with this invisible force field around you. Like, genuinely, in my belief, there's only two people I need validation from in life, and that is me and God. God's not even a person, but you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything that, like, I actually have it written on a whiteboard, even to say, like, you only need validation from God. So,
Yeah.
um, that's so powerful. I'm really proud that you've had that as well because you will end up living a life that is a lot happier as well. Because when you do experience things, it's not for the opinion of other people, and other people's judgment on that thing as well isn't going to sting
Mm-hmm.
you as hard as well. Like even just like mean
Exactly.
comments on social media, it's kind of like, who are you? Like to even be
I
saying
mean, yeah,
anything.
like when it comes to that, it's like, bro, I'm never gonna see you, so whatever.
There's a guy that you follow who messaged
Mm-hmm.
me like maybe like 3 4 months ago. It's just come to me now because we're talking about it. That he messaged me and he was like, how are you, like show your trading results, some shit like that. And I was like, my I don't advertise my trading strategy because I don't want people to associate my performance metrics with my trading results. My performance is measured by my client successes. How many people am I
Right.
able to transform? So I sent him my client reviews
And what do you say?
He was like sending me clown emojis and shit like that, and I was just creasing. I was laughing so much because I was like, this person has the IQ of a fucking napkin. Like, he's so dumb.
A napkin is crazy.
So I just kind of ignored him from that, but I found it
Like things
funny.
like that, like you can go back and forth with a person that is you're not getting anything out of that.
No, nothing.
Like out of the conversation, out of the argument, like you're not getting anything out of that situation. So you can't really put too much effort into it, like despite even feeling like you have to respond. Like, no, you can't do it.
Well, initially I thought I was
That's what they
responding to help.
want.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
initially it was like it was worded like he wanted support. So I was
mm,
open to like, oh, I'm giving support, da da da, and then he just flipped the conversation and I was when he gave that example, I was like, that is hands down the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Number one,
I've ever.
I'm obviously a successful trader. Otherwise, how the fuck did I end up in the Wall Street Journal, number one? Like I had to show them my
Mm,
portfolio in order to get there in the first place. They don't just willy-nilly put anyone in. And number two, I hardly trade these days. Like, legitimately, I do hardly trade these days, and I'm very open about
yeah.
that. And if I do trade, it's mainly swing trading, and it's because I'm busy with clients. I don't have time to be on the charts all the time.
See, I kind of feel that same way because that's why like I don't really show too much of my results that much anymore as far as big days and everything. I felt because people just like they want to count pockets, count this and count that. So like every now and again I'll show something, but like I used to, I mean I have like my currency geek page, um, and I used to show like a lot of results on there, but over time I'm like I'm tired of showing numbers though. You know, like it's just more like one of those things that's like, yo, just catch me on the charts, like, you know, me doing my thing and everything else, but let me just live my life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that you need to see,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But
It's because then
that that
they start measuring your performance based on their timeline. So again, like remember we were talking about how I said you have to zoom out because at the moment you're measuring your process by like 19 days to greatness or however many there are now to greatness
yeah.
when you need to be looking at things on a wider scale. So it's like people will see someone's trading performance where they might be having 2 red months in a row, but they don't realize like those 2 red months are absolutely a requirement in order for them to have the insane amount of growth that they're going to have for the rest of the year. And you can't measure your performance on a trade by trade basis or on like just
No.
such a small timeline. So um I think well all of that to say like I think it's amazing that you have detached from that validation side of things
Yeah.
because no one knows until they're in the position either. The requirements to own a jet isn't just I'm just going to buy a jet and that's great. The maintenance cost, having the staff, you have to have the pilots as well when you're going to fly, you have to have the crew. There's a
Oh
lot of
God.
stuff and there's a lot of responsibility that goes with this type of that you know because you
And
have a
I don't
fleet of
like that
cars.
kind of responsibility.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
a fleet and you have to
It's
take
not
care of
easy.
them. Yeah.
Service this, service that. Oh, that's broken. Oh, that's broken. Oh, it's a lot. You
It's
know,
not what people see. Like it's I don't know. I
everything
think
takes effort to maintain.
yeah, and it's not like money and things can't be the goal because you will end up miserable. You will end up miserable because you will get to that place and you will be like, "Oh, like is this it?" You have to do the things that you find fulfilling and that you're passionate about. And I think we're both very fortunate that we've ended up in positions to find a field that we are passionate about. And we get to
Mhm.
experience that field not only as traders, but entrepreneurs as well within the
Yeah.
industry. Um, and then it continuously like drives you to keep going. But everyone's passions are different. So this is another thing, right? Like some people want to be traders because they want the money,
Hmm.
but they want the money so they can go do the thing that they actually want to do. But they're not being successful in trading because they're actually not putting any energy into the other thing. So if we're talking about
Exactly.
quantum physics, in quantum physics, like you have a driving thing inside of you. For some people, it might be like owning a home on a beach. It might be I don't know, running a coffee shop, whatever it might be. Some people are passionate about different things, but they're spending all their time trying to make trading work while deep down inside their energy alignment is towards something else. So I always say, like, if there is something else that you want, make sure you're taking actions towards that at the same time as
Correct.
trading. Don't just put that on pause. Be-
On the back burner. Yeah, no, that's exactly why. Like, I do my car stuff, because that's what I'm passionate about, and I still trade, but they kind of like work hand in hand because make money here, I applied here. Now I'm like more fulfilled, not just building a big trading account.
you
That's
mentioned
just
that,
a
right, in your
number.
latest reel that you are
Yeah.
doing a car build. So,
Yeah, yeah, because you know what it is? Because the industry now, they praise people that have expensive cars, and I'm like, but it's like a nonstop, like, excuse my language, but dick measuring contest. And I'm like, to have that be the chase for people that's not really enthusiasts like that is just insane to me because to buy an inexpensive car just for hype and cloud is short lived for the most part. That's why like I'd rather buy cars that I actually don't mind keeping for 10 years
mhm.
and it's like a passion for those cars right there. It's not just for 2 months or 3 months and then sell it. It's that's what I'm into.
Yeah, I like that. I like it. Things are beginning to get very balanced as well from the sounds of it. When you said that this year's been rough for you, what did you mean by that?
No, just I wouldn't say just external things that pretty much I'm attached to. So just trying to deal with all that stuff at the same time. So it's like it's stress coming from many angles that I gotta just separate from my daily, like my daily growth. Even though it's stressful to deal with and that kind of stuff, I have to kind of like not make that, affect how I see myself or how I see myself growing. It's just things that I gotta take care of externally to, yeah, it's one of those things that, just happens. It's life stuff.
Give me an example and change the names if you need to.
Um, not really. I can't really give too many examples, but more just I think it's a lot of just there's a lot of people that are within my gears, and I gotta change a couple gears, you know, that kind of stuff. Because it takes
That's
gears
so
to
cryptic.
run certain operations. Yeah.
Like what gives?
Like gears, like, like how they say like, there's so many gears that makes this operation run.
Hmm.
I gotta just change
Hmm.
a couple gears to some better gears.
Hmm.
That's what I
The reason I'm asking is because a lot of the psychology that leaks into trading is primarily coming from external factors. So
mm,
when it comes to those external factors, I'm curious about what they are because while they might feel external, they are bringing up certain belief systems and certain limitations that will present themselves on the charts. So I'm
100%.
wondering what they are, because there's another one that I want to touch on with you as well. It's something I've spoken to you about before, and it's to do with your portfolio size. Like
Hmm.
I want to push you to expand it. I want to take you to the
Yes,
to go higher. But at the moment, you have a belief system that says, if when I get to this point, I end up leveraging more. So we can change that. It's not a big deal. We can move that. Um, that is
but I
it's
think
suitable.
I think like getting at this flow of things mentally, I might be able to not get crazy when I get to that certain
That's
amount,
the point. Yeah, it's the
Um,
same mechanisms.
yeah, same, no, it's the same flow, the same mechanics and everything to make those same trades when I'm at a different balance. But, if your mind is not sharp or flow is not balanced, you see that number and you're like, fuck, let's go crazy. And that's the issue. And again, it's just all just critiquing and really nurturing the brain to not act a certain kind of way when those numbers are seen. To then act accordingly, like how I always was to even get there in the first place and go from there.
So what's happening is your fear response is kicking in those moments, because your body
Hmm.
identifies that as an unsafe area. And this is
Correct.
normal, right? Like as you progress, as you go to the next level, and this is why I work with hedge funds because they always have a bigger target, right? You keep moving.
Correct.
And as that target moves, the traders, the people who are doing the analysis, the teams, for them, they're also dealing with bigger numbers. So it's like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
mutual
definitely.
thing where
They're
everyone needs to get back to a place of safety.
better.
Yeah, so it's an ever growing process, but you do it bit by bit by bit. So before where you would have got to that place and your amygdala would have fired on, your fear response would have taken over and it would have self-sabotaged because your body goes,
Yeah,
this isn't safe. We can now slowly drip into that so we can actually expand the portfolio. I don't think people will be able to see it over
yeah,
these recorded sessions.
yeah.
But I mean, obviously, this is like stuff we can do behind the scenes, and one day you just come out with, here's your 500K positions.
Correct. No, but you know what's crazy that we spoke about the number, and I'm like approaching that number again.
Hmm.
So I want to see how my mind responds to that this time around.
Okay, well,
You know?
let's prepare so that when we're prepared, you don't end up falling into a reactive state. Instead,
Yeah.
you respond. So let's talk about like what are the things that you feel like could go wrong for you as you're approaching that number?
Um, I think it's just a sense of fear of missing out. Like I would find myself like seeing like not I want to say forcing, but just coming up with like a potential opportunity that could that could be major, and then try to take advantage of it. And when it comes down to it, I think it's trying to just take it easy, like take the same kind of steps that I was taking to get there in the first place, and like really, really stick with that same parameters. You know what I'm saying? Like same TP targets, same stop loss targets, same position sizes, all those stuff, and not feel the need to like, go all in based on me just being at that number again. Um, yeah, that like one thing that has helped me though, like when it comes to possibly dealing with this, just drop my leverage, put a governor on my leverage so I can't go crazy because my account won't allow me to at
Mm-hmm.
that point. So I think that's what I might do when I get there, just so I could say that I'm like protected on the back end, like not just I can't do it. Like I think even if I try to do it, I can't do it. It's kind of like you having like a governor on your car, so you can't go over a certain speed. Even though you want to go over a certain speed, your car won't allow you to because that governor is in place now. Um, so yeah, so like that's what I might do once I get there and yeah, see how it flows. But overall goal is trying to actually just maintain a certain level of just consistency with just the thought process. Entry, exit. Okay, cool. Like I don't like the position. I close, whatever, get back in. Like try to find that balance between just not marrying the trade and feeling comfortable where I currently am within the position. Because if I don't like the position or like how canvas is starting to actually form out, close out, call it a day, wipe my hands clean, don't marry it, even though you see the red flags. Get out, get a divorce from the fucking trade. I'm done.
No divorces
You
up in
know?
this house, all right?
you know, and then on to that next trade, and don't feel like you have to hold it, you
Mm.
know, and yeah,
So, when you said you feel FOMO, like when that is
yeah,
approaching, is it because now that you have more
yeah,
available to you, your potential profit is larger, so you want to actually go and take a larger chunk, or is it something else?
correct, correct. No, I think it's that. So I think just again, like not feeling the urge for home runs. Like I don't have an urge for home runs. Like if it happens, it happens. Kind of like what the 150 did last week. That was a nice flow of things, right? But it's not like I was aiming for that. The market was just aggressive. I was in a good position, and boom, boom, boom. 150. But I think going forward is more just trying to actually keep that same mindset going forward as far as understanding, like, if I see this red flag, all right, cool, exit, and just pretty much add to the balance, add to the balance, add to the balance, add to the balance. Like, don't feel the need to always try to, hit that 100K trade, that 200K trade, all those things. Have like a nice balance in between how much I'm open to settling with and sticking to the overall bias even after I exit, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
What is that account size that starts making you feel shaky?
Oh, like when I hit like 300,000, um, like every time that I hit 300,000, like, so to help to help fix that issue, I used to like start my account at like 110, grow to like 290, and then withdraw back to 110. And I did that for like about maybe like 4 or 5 cycles.
Hmm.
And it felt great because I withdrew a lot of money on the back end without having to risk all this money by keeping the money inside the account, right? So yeah, I did that a few times. So I think that was definitely a trade hack that I figured out for myself, that worked out. So I think, but I want to try to push those limits. So, you know what I'm saying? Try to actually say, all right, cool, like I'm inside this zone again. Breathe. How can I go about this?
Q,
You
it's
know, and then just,
showtime! It's
yeah,
fucking
showtime. So
showtime!
exactly.
I told you the
So
same things will show up. And look at the
yep.
timing of
And then
it.
you gotta just approach it the same way. Like, like, or even, like when I get to that number, it might be today or tomorrow, if anything, honestly. But get off the charts for like about a day, and just kind of like just ease my mind a little bit, um, just so I don't approach it with that rush mindset. Like, okay, cool, like I'm here, I have to go crazy. I have to stay on the charts because I'm at this number. No, 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 no. Like, let me just take it ease back. Okay, cool. Let's take a breather. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate a little bit, and then go back on the charts. Nice, clean mindset. I have like all like the parameters that I want to pretty much stick to, goals that I want to stick to. I want to clear off my entire chart, reanalyze just so I'm not caught up in an old bias and that kind of stuff, and go from there. So you gotta like approach it with a fresh mind.
What are you doing at the moment? So you mentioned that you would take the account to 110 and then you'd build it up to 300 and then you'd withdraw and you did that for a few cycles. What are you doing now?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what's your
yeah.
approach now when you get close to that number?
I stopped trying to even chase that number, what like 300. So like I would just, do like 20, 30,000 withdraw, this and that, like not even make it even get close to that number in in the account, which again, like I feel like it's kind of like a bad thing as well because I have a lot of potential. I know what I'm capable of as well. So I have to push that boundary, you know what I'm saying? And I know that I have to push that boundary. Like that's just like me knowing myself. Like I want to push that boundary to overcome that. So yeah, so I think going forward, just trying to approach it a bit more carefully and I wouldn't say cautiously, but a bit more carefully, a bit more better analyzed. Make sure that I reanalyze like my entire charts because if you pretty much approach the an area where you find caution with everything that's on your chart, the same markup, same this, I think you don't have the chance to reset your mind. So that's why even like if I have a loss or back-to-back losses, I'll clear off my entire chart.
Mm,
Clear everything off. I'm clearing everything off.
start again,
If
yeah.
I come up with the same analysis, the same bias, the same everything, cool, good. If I don't, that kind of says, as to what I was seeing. So I think it's very important to just like, have that reset so I don't have those old thoughts coming in my head to even try to rush a trade that pretty much might not be. It might just be something that I'm delusional about, but I can't see it because I'm in that one direction that I'm focused on. So yeah, going forward, I understand how to approach it, when the time comes.
So comprehension doesn't always equal execution. And obviously, I'm
Hmm.
sure you've been in this place before where you understood how to approach it, but things still kind of turn south. So
Correct.
now what I'm seeing here as someone who like couples trading psychology with neuroscience, quantum physics, and like the spiritual side of things, I'm seeing something very clearly in front of me, which is
Hmm.
that there's a money block here. Now,
Hmm.
you
Probably.
like
Yeah.
people are going to be watching and be like, what the fuck, 300K, like a portfolio, how can you have a money block? You can have a money block at any level, any level,
You
any
could. Yeah.
level. So, the money block that you're currently experiencing is your vessel does not feel safe to hold more than 300K right now. So the job isn't just to make sure that we have a strategy and something in line on the charts that we say when
Hmm.
X happens, we're going to do Y. This is how we're going to approach it. We're going to respond, not react. We also have to do some spiritual work here, which is we need to expand your vessel to be able to hold a larger amount so you feel safe. Because then this now couples with
Yeah.
the neuroscience, which is if you don't feel safe,
All that.
if you hold it on a pedestal, then you're saying that every time you approach this number, you're saying it's away from you. You're saying you're not in line
Hmm.
with it. Everything that you want in your life is coming into your life right now because you're operating like you're in line with it. The shift that you've had
Hmm.
from 2 sessions, like you were chasing a home run and you got it the minute you detached from it. This is quantum physics. This is how it works.
Yeah.
Like you became in line with it and then it came to you because
Correct.
now
Yeah.
you're on the frequency of it. At the moment, the 300K portfolio is not in line with you. You still hold it away from you. You still hold it as a challenge of something that you need to overcome, right? So, what
Correct.
I'm going
Correct.
to
Correct.
challenge you to do is not necessarily on the 300K portfolio. We can change and we can adapt and we can work with this in different ways. I want you to start visualizing 500K in that
Hmm.
portfolio. So 300K
Yeah.
feels smaller because at the moment
True.
300K is holding the maximum
It
position.
seems correct.
So let's bring that down. An
Okay.
easy way to do that is to start visualizing a
So
portfolio size that is larger. Sorry, go on. I think there's a lag. We're going over each other.
yeah. No. 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 Yeah. Yeah. No. So it's kind of like you're having like a bigger target. So even if you even fall short, it's still a big hit. You
Mm.
know. So yeah, I think that's a great approach to actually take. Aim for five. So even if five is like that new big. So overcoming the five is like the same concept now. Aim for 750 and that kind of thing.
There is no reason someone like you, with the experience that you have and the recognition of chart analysis, can't be trading with $1 million portfolio. Absolutely no reason.
Yeah. No, and at one point in time, like I was, but that shit was just crazy. I was
You won't be
going
stressed
berserk.
anymore. We're not gonna let you do that
Like
anymore. Well, you've changed.
it was yeah, it was a time period that I did that back in like in 2021. It was just crazy though, man. Like it was just a lot to deal with because it was a lot of money on the table at the same time. So
We
yeah,
want to do this
it was
safely. We want to do this
yeah.
slowly. We want to
I
do
was
it
going
safely.
insane.
Yeah, you're not doing that. You're gonna relax.
I was definitely super not safe. Just I was going insane, but you know,
Yeah.
big days.
So we want to make sure that you're coming from a place of safety. So in order to create that
Yeah.
safety, some homework for you. I want you to write out your beliefs about money, right?
Mm.
And I
Okay.
want you to write out the positive beliefs that you have about money, which are like money can provide safety, money can provide me with whatever I want to buy. And then I want you to write out any negative that beliefs that you have about money. And it might be things that you didn't even realize were there, but if it comes into your head and even 1% of you resonates with it, write it down because it's there. It's beneath the surface and probably
Yeah.
hiding beneath layers of patterns. So
Correct.
it could even be something like with more money I have more responsibility. That's a money block, right? With more money I have
Okay.
more to lose. That's a money block, right? So
Mm.
that's not creating a big enough vessel. And then once we get those beliefs down, we can rewire them, we can change them. I would say if you're approaching that 300K, just so we approach this nice, steady and slowly, don't even withdraw it to the 110 that you're used to doing. Withdraw it to
Yeah. Yeah.
200.
Okay.
Do you feel safe to go from 200?
Yeah, yeah, but the thing is, I think we could probably stick around 300 and
Okay,
just go carefully.
sure.
You know, like tippy toe a little bit for like about a week or even a couple of days.
Okay.
See how the environment feels. You know, like okay, cool, like it's I'm comfortable, whatever. All right, let's keep like a steady pace. Don't try to up leverage too much. This and that, this and that, this and that. You know, I probably do this like max maybe two lots, that kind of thing, and just flow from there. Really, you know.
So what happens when you hit 300K as well is there's another identity. So right now, the version of you that was here 2 weeks ago is different from the version of you that's been trading the past 2 weeks. The version of you that's
Yeah.
managed to build this account size up to 300K after so long. The part of you that's hit this home run, right? That identity is
I mean,
created. Gone.
yeah, it wasn't so long. It's only been like about a week and a half
Oh,
or 2 weeks.
oh, bloody hell. So it's not been long at all. So you've been at
No, 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 no.
300K 2 weeks ago.
No, 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 no. Like I started this account at 75,000 2 weeks ago.
Damn, boy, take
Yeah.
my money. Fucking hell. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, this is like when I put myself under like you know like I it's like a stressful situation that I know that I'm putting myself in like and I only do this only certain times or for a certain length of time because it can be very, very stressful. So kind of like a voluntary stress.
Mm,
It's like a voluntary stressful situation that I put myself in to just, go not really go crazy, but really, really dedicate time and effort to, get this account to where I feel comfortable with to actually get it nice and steady. And then from
okay.
that point, I don't have to grow it as aggressive anymore, you know?
Mm. Well, as long as you continue the way you have been trading it the last 2 weeks, which is even though
Well,
you're
I gotta
taking,
keep on these sessions.
well, keep doing the sessions. Nothing's stopping you. We just won't be recording
Yeah,
them. We will come back to it, and we'll do like
yeah,
a nice check-in for people, like in a month or so, to see where you're at. I think that'll be cool. But yeah, me and you can keep working together behind the scenes anyway, and you're in market mindset, so like
yeah,
keep giving your progress in that. But if
yeah.
we're gonna stick to this 300K number now, I want you to also think about the identity that is showing up right
Mhm.
now and how he needs to continue to show up at 300K. Because the trader version of you, who is usually presenting themselves at 300K, is someone who self sabotages. So we need to get on top of that
Mhm.
before it even
Yeah,
shows
yeah,
up.
yeah. Like at 300K, like I normally self-sabotage, That's why I did the withdrawal thing. And I'm like, huh, I'm not self-sabotaging. This could probably just be like a nice flow, but I mean, once you recognize that you gotta, again, learn how to overcome it. So
It's simply that your body
you are
feels
able to grow from
unsafe.
there.
When you start
Yeah.
self-sabotaging, it's a level of when you're self-sabotaging, I actually say this to people, like when you're self-sabotaging, it's actually the sign that you are the closest that you're ever going to be to change. It feels like you're the
Yeah.
furthest away, but the reason you're self-sabotaging is because your brain, remember we were talking about the survival state. Your brain wants
Hmm.
to keep things the way they are. So when you're literally on the brink of things changing for the good, the better, the
Better,
different,
yeah.
that's when self sabotage kicks in. It doesn't kick in when you're comfortable. It kicks in when there's
Yeah.
a change about to take place. So if you're feeling that self
Yeah.
sabotage taking place, take it as a good thing. Be like, amazing, if I can get through this. So um, just 3 days, right? Like that's something I love, a framework I love. Just three
Hmm.
days. Just show up for 3 days. Just execute your plan amazingly for 3 days. Just stick to your leverage for 3 days and see what happens. So that's going to
Yep.
be your plan. We've
Hmm.
got 300K and we got 3 days. So not 3 days to grow, but 3 days to implement your plan. So
Stick with it.
everything you
Yep.
do, just 3 days. I want you to keep reminding yourself, just three
3 days.
days. There is no like target out in the future. You already have everything that you want. You've recognized that in this
Correct,
identity.
correct.
And I'm really highlighting this because as I mentioned, like when I said the same shit showing up for you, it's usually
Yeah.
at this stage that it begins to fire up. And I just want you to be
Yeah.
so on top of this. And if shit does hit the fan, that's also okay. because
Yeah,
regardless, like the what shows up in the physical reality is not always what is going on in the spiritual realm or what is going on behind the
100%.
scenes with quantum physics and the growth that is taking place for you. And it could be necessary that you need to go through one final shit show because there's a lesson for you to learn within that. So just,
I'll pass. No more shit shows for me, personally.
I mean,
I've had enough.
I would
I've had
rather you
enough
didn't
to
as well, but I don't want you to feel
I
bad
have
on
enough of
yourself if you
those.
do. So, slow and steady growth, the same
Hmm?
way that you are trading the account from the 75K or 110K and you're stacking it up, is the same way you're trading this 300K. You don't need to add more size, keep the size the same. So,
Hmm.
that's something I want you to do. Like, I want you to pretend that this is 110 and I want you to keep
Hmm.
that size the same and
Okay.
just see what happens. If you
Okay,
can,
true. Mentally,
if you're willing to, hide your balance.
I can't. I don't think they, no, not an option.
Damn,
That would be cool though.
that's a cheat code. If you can hide your balance,
It is. You know what? I'm gonna get like a piece of black tape
if you can hide your
and I was
balance
like, put it right
and then
here.
just look at it at the end of the week.
Yeah, so gotta get a sticky pad
There we go.
and put it on top of.
Do this. Write 500,000 on that sticky pad. Stick that over your balance.
That's it. All right. Wow. This is funny. It's not sticking? Oh God. I need some better sticks. Not really sticking. It looks crazy. But
Get used to it.
I'm
Get
gonna get
used to looking at that number.
no, like as far as it not sticking, but I'm gonna get some better tape and just slap it on there.
Yeah,
It looks funny though.
this
But
is
now,
good. This is exciting.
yeah, so I'll just do that a little bit.
Yeah, so there's not really much
I
homework
think
for
it's the
you to
heat
do.
from the screen. But no, but let me get ready to go because I have to go to the gym.
No, I have to go. Joking.
Yeah, you? Oh,
I
good
actually do
luck with
have to go.
that.
I've got a call in 2 minutes. But there's not much homework for you to do in this week. And the reason for that is, again, we don't want to overwhelm your brain. All the frameworks that you've got in
Yeah,
place for the process, basically. I'm stuttering like
yeah,
crazy
yeah,
today. The process that you've got going on over the last 2 weeks is the same thing we wanna work on and we wanna build and we wanna stack on right now. So I want you to keep
yeah.
everything the same. Double down on the meditation. However many times that you've done it, do it double. If you feel like you're on tilt, you feel like you're struggling, drop me a message. We'll figure it out there and then. Even if you're in a trade, like just send me a little fire alarm alert system if I'm not in a meeting or something.
I got you. I got you. All right,
All
I gotta
right,
go. All right, but
sweet.
talk soon. All
All right, see you soon.
right, peace,
Bye.
peace, peace.